Alrighty, second best of 5 of the night. For the first time in a long time, we've got Fjant back. Fjant obviously always active in the online cups, but there was a time I invited him quite a few times, then eventually he went for some other Zergies, but I thought it was a good moment to give the young man from Sweden another shot. And he's going up against Rodzyn, who played an amazing series against BabyMarine last Monday. I think that alone was reason enough to invite him. Let's do it.
Let's get it on. Round 1. Fight!
Winner of this series gets 80 buckies, the loser gets 20. In the top right side, the man who lost to Magnus on the Monday night. That is obviously a game that he wants to forget about, and he wants to do better today. He's struggling with Protoss, but which Zerg isn't? It is Fjant. And the sweet man that I am, if you're struggling with Protoss, you'll get a Protoss. It should be a good series. In the bottom left side, we are looking at the main base of one of the many great Polish Protosses we have. This is a Rodzyn. Nice guy, he's been around for a very long time. He has his ups and downs, but definitely think he is quite good. He might have hit 50% with his speed now. 51% is all he needs for tonight. 3 wins, 2 losses. Fjant happy, I'm happy, BASILISK happy, you guys happy. What are you guys voting for? It is close. I always have it, Magnus. Literally always. Been like this for over 10 years, mate. All the games of the Big Brain Bouts will be posted on YouTube, so you just have to wait for a day, 2 days, then you can watch it back on YouTube. You can watch it back anyway, so. You watch my VODs back? Yeah, because you're subbed. Oh, for this VOD, it should be public, mate. Well, that should be up. If that is not up, then something has changed on the back end of... That's weird though, it should be immediately available. I don't know why that wouldn't be the case. Maybe I can change something, but I don't think I can change anything about that live. But yeah, you should always be able to, if you have access to VODs, they should be accessible while I'm live. That should be a thing. If it's not the case, I don't know, mate. I don't know why that is, but it should be accessible. I believe there is a setting for that, but I wouldn't know. Wait, I think I know what it is. I think it's because I recently had a warning on one of my VODs from music, and then I think Twitch automatically toggles it off, so you have time to repair it. And I guess I didn't toggle it back on. But yeah, I think that's what it is. But I don't think I can change that while I'm live. I'm sorry. That's because we had a music warning. That is what it is, and I'm not aware of that. But that's not on purpose, amigo. I'll change that for the next stream. Yeah, I need to find out where that is again. It's been a little while since I've done that. But I know that is a setting. So I'll fix it. As soon as tonight is over, I'll fix it. But even if I would change the settings right now, that wouldn't be updated until this stream ends. And it has time to reset everything. So nothing I can do right now, Mac. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to wait until I'm done today. So we had 2 adepts diving into the natural. Those 2 adepts got 3 drones. That is not bad, but it's also not what sweet Protoss dreams are made out of. It's like one of these moments where Fjant is not happy that he lost 3 drones. Rodzyn is probably not too happy that he lost his 2 adepts for 3 drones. I still think he should be okay with that as a Protoss. I think it's slightly better for Protoss than it is for Zerg. Obviously, if you lose 3 drones and the adepts is still alive, then... I don't want to say it's game over, but that is God tier. But 3 is more than okay. So we got Oracle into Templar Archives, into Archons and a War Prism most likely. Nice moment of Fjant is Lynx to show up, snipes the probes and no pylon. Lynx also get this adept. I'm very confused about these roaches. I guess we're just gonna get a couple of roaches out very early to keep track of the War Prism and the Archons. Yeah, I guess it's nice to have a few roaches. Doesn't hurt. Queens are expensive these days, so sure. We'll get a couple roaches. Obviously, Rodzyn can absolutely not allow himself to make any big mistakes with his War Prism or his Archons here. There's a few little things have gone wrong for him defensively against a small number of links. These links continue to be annoying here, by the way. War Prism and Archons doing their thing in the main. Fjant does not have a lot of creep in his main. That's actually, especially against this build, I do think you really want to cover your main with creep. So important to get that extra mobility out of the queens and roaches, links, etc. Spire! So as a response to this build of Rodzyn, Fjant is gonna go for the Spire. We've seen Serral play low Spire in this matchup. Big believer of just the 7 to 10 mutas, no more than that. Let's see how Fjant is going to play it. I think Rodzyn at this point is looking to pick up a couple of creep tumors. He's getting quite a few overlords, by the way. That is adding up. It's a serious amount of overlords on the production tab right now, coming out of Fjant's side. Seems like the War Prism will scout the Spire. That is good for Rodzyn. That is exactly what he was looking for. So now he knows, and he can start building Phoenix. And this is definitely still a very good moment to build Phoenix. Spire is very good against Archons, because very often it is Archons into Immortal and Zealot with charge. And that is what is happening this time as well. And if there's only 2 Archons, those 2 Archons are going to have a very hard time defending 3 mineral lines against 9-10 mutas. But if your opponent scouts it and gets a couple Phoenix out in time, then it's a different game. Yeah, it's not about mutas in the straight up fight. Eventually you can obviously use them in a straight up fight, but it's a lot more about just getting yourself ahead as a Zerg. Make sure that all the action takes place on the bottom side of the map rather than on the top side. Fjante's roaches are going to work on this debris, but this is not something that Fjant is really going to be able to attack into anytime soon. 4 Immortals, 4 Archons. The double Robo has really been working at full speed. I'm a little bit worried for Fjant. The supply is like decent, but it's really not that great. I don't think that his mutas are going to be able to do a lot. Fjant needs more. His mutas get deflected by just 2 Phoenixes. Fjant now hoping for a micro arrow on the side of Rodzyn. But so far there are no arrows. Shout out to Atu Orm for the 41 months. I appreciate it, mate. Welcome. Again. Casual 3.5 years. Hive and Lurkus on the side of Fjant. I don't know if Rodzyn is gonna stay home for this long though. I'm a little bit worried that the Rodzyn is just gonna chip away at this muta count with his Phoenix. So far the Phoenix micro has been pretty clean. Obviously the man does not have any impulse crystals, but he's gonna move out soon. Like, this is already an army that you can absolutely feel pretty confident in with moving out. You get 5 more Zealots in the mix and a War Prism in the back. Seems like the War Prism did die. Mutas find a very tiny opening at the bottom side. Is going to pull the main army out of position. And this is maybe going to allow Fjant to get on top of the 3rd base. He's going to get a gate. Might be able to unpower the 3 other gates. Okay, this is pretty decent. I still think that Fjant is going to have to run away, obviously, as soon as the real Protoss army shows up. But getting 2 gates and a pylon is not bad. That is the kind of stuff that you can work with. He did lose all his mutas. Rodzyn is showing a lot of respect right now to what Fjant has. Because his army is actually very good. Like, this is such a good army. Rodzyn wants to take his time. He's getting a fleet beacon and a 2nd Stargate. He's just going to play this out in a very macro-oriented way. Fjant is going to try to buy some time and a few roaches, but I am worried for the man from Sweden. Couple force fields go down and the roaches get trapped. I think so as well, but at least Fjant is getting Lurkus. The fact that you have 6-8 lurkers ready, even if they don't quite have the hive upgrades yet, can give you hope. There's not a lot of detection, by the way, on the side of Rodzyn. Rodzyn has 0 observers, 1 oracle. Fjant is doing a good job in making this game a little hectic and scrappy. This is trying to find some good fights. And Storms don't care about detection, so you can still soften up those lurkers a little bit. Well, kudos to Fjant. Might end up losing a bunch of units here, but if I was Fjant, I'd be happy that I even got lurkers out. I got seismic spines out. That is true as well. You can obviously use the Phoenix indeed to lift a couple of the lurkers. If you have this kind of an army, and then you can lift 4 of the 6 lurkers, the last 2 don't really deal much damage. This man really needs to get some more detection. The observer is coming. That was obviously a very sweet storm in the middle of the roaches, hydras, and a ravager or 2. Fjant continues to harass on the other side of the map with a couple of roaches getting in and out of range. But Rodzyn believes in the power of Protoss. Here come all these immortals. Some of the immortals are not even firing. That Archon is not firing. It is not necessarily the prettiest Protoss fight I've ever seen, but I still think it's good enough. Those Phoenixes are coming indeed in very, very handy, lifting a couple of the lurkers. And Fjant, his forces just kind of get destroyed, evaporated. We're gonna lose this base. We lost 5 drones. Fjant had some money in the bank. They were both sitting on a decent amount of money, to be fair, but it's gonna be very easy for Rodzyn to spend it. It's gonna be a whole lot harder for Fjant. After 12 minutes and 11 seconds, it is Rodzyn with the double Robo Immortal who gets the job done. Great scout on that Spire. I do really think the War Prism with the 2 Archons inside of it, seeing the Spire when it did, allowed him to just have 2 Phoenixes. And it's a night and day difference if you have 0 Phoenix or 2 Phoenix to deal with those 7-8 mutas. It makes that phase of the game so much easier and allows you to focus on your own macro, get a strong ground army, and then make magic happen on the other side of the map. Should have probably indeed had an observer or 2 extra, but in the end it is all good for the man from Poland. Rodzyn takes the 1-0 lead. I am try to see. So we load into the second game. I'll see if I can find that button to automatically publish VODs. I want to say I think I know where I can find it. But obviously I don't want to miss too much of the game. But I know that that will not be active until this stream ends. So I guess it is useless. Oh. I can take a look quickly. Twitch. And then we can go to create a dashboard, settings, channel settings maybe? Stream settings. Okay. So yeah, this was the button. So I have to turn this button on, but it won't change anything for today. At least it's fixed. That automatically gets turned off if you have a music warning on your stream, which I did. No strike though, guys. No DMCA strike, just a warning. Thank you, Clayboss. Now I want to take a look at one more thing. Video producer. I can publish it. I don't know if that makes a difference. Alright. I think that's only gonna go live once it's all over tonight. I've tried, Mac. That's all I can do for now. 1-0 lead, game 2.
Round 2, fight!
80 buckies on the line for the winner of this best of 5 in the bottom left side. The man from Poland, he has played in the past. Always nice to see him play some games for us. It is our Polish Protoss, one of the many great Polish Protosses, Rodzyn. Top right side, seems like we went for a bit of an early pull. I kind of missed the exact timing of all of this. It is a Swedish Zerg. He is down 0-1. It is Fjant. As I was trying to fix my VOD settings, I missed some details. Where can I find NA Diamond 2 MMR levels? I don't know, I just use Battle.net. On Battle.net you should be able to see your rank and see other people in your division, click on their profiles, but I can't really help you. Maybe the link of Pi is useful, but that would mean trusting Pi. Andre! Thank you, Andre. Good luck on Sunday, Andre. How do you feel about upcoming Sunday? Good evening, matey. Thank you so much for the 39 months tier 3. You will need it? Yeah, what about us? I think we both need it. Could be a very exciting game because we're both kind of bad. I think we can both use it. Rodzyn is going 1 gate fast expand into a Twilight console. That's actually kind of cool. This build is something that I'm still very fond of, but a lot of high-level Protoss players don't really use it anymore. Only has 3. What the hell is this? Only has 3 probes on gas? Okay. We'll go Resonating Glaive Adept, but don't we need a little more gas than this? I guess he's gonna get this gas a tiny bit later. Old school. It's very, very old school what Rodzyn is doing here. 4 gates, Resonating Glaive Adept. And Fjant went gasless for a little while. He's got a gas up and running now. He's going to fire up Zergling Speed as Andre hits us with the 100 gifted subbies. A lot of nerds. Now, no longer have to worry about ads. Can enjoy all those VODs. Oh, a legend. Thank you, Andre. Let's see if we can maybe do something soon. Either this Sunday or in the future Sundays. Andre is a certified legend. Has done a lot of good things to the channel and to the nerds on Team Roddy. At this point, obviously, we've got Fjant, we got Sebadas. And a big shout out to Jacob and Andre for helping me with that. No big alerts while we are casting the Big Brain Bouts. All the alerts are disabled, but I see it and I'm happy with it. 6 roaches on the production tab for the man from Sweden. And here come the first adepts. Right now we've got the 2 links, 4 queens. This is gonna be so hard now. This is going to be so incredibly hard for Fjant. I'm a little bit worried. Alright, we're gonna try to wall off, but we're gonna... Okay, alright, we keep the adepts out for now. There are 4 drones here, we don't want to lose those. So far, so good. The wall off, making life a whole lot better. I was very worried there that Fjant was actually preventing himself from walling off. Alright, it's still very good. Maybe Fjant knows that Mixed Biscuits is in the house. And like, alright, if one of the biggest Team Roddy supporters out there is watching, I'm gonna try to put on a show. This is looking really good. I was legit pretty worried for Fjant for a while in this game, but now I'm not very worried at all. Yeah, Rodzyn his build is a bit unsafe, but I also think you can play gates into Robo. And then the only real problem is obviously Mudas, but I don't hate like 3-4 gateway Resonating Glaive Adapt into double Robo. As long as you're scouting and you know you don't have to worry about Mudas, it's actually a pretty good build. Might have to worry about a couple of like very low drone all-ins, but if you see those coming in advance, you can obviously get some Stalkers out. Stalkers are good against roaches if they don't have speed. If you're talking about Fjant, Alex, can Fjant right now run to the other side of the map and aim move? Honestly, I think that's hard. I think slow roaches against Stalkers with Blink, I don't think that works out very well. So no, I wouldn't do that. Just running up a little bit. This is a lot of roaches, by the way, just chasing 2 adepts, and we're still losing some drones. Tiny bit painful. A lot of things up to this point were quite good on the side of Fjant. This was a little bit painful. Maybe you could 1 minute ago with slow roaches and then just reinforce with nothing but links. You don't really want to reinforce with slow roaches. It is risky because you might find yourself in a situation where you kill the 3rd, but you're so committed and you have no tech at all, you have no follow-up, that you then still are behind against 2 base Protoss. Now Rodzyn does need to be careful. Stalkers going upper ramp, no high ground vision. Stalkers are expensive, and losing 2 of them like that against slow roaches, honestly, tiny bit sloppy. Starting to feel better and better about the chances of Fjant here in game 2, 7 minutes into ley lines. His work account is problematic. Like, we can't ignore that. But as long as Rodzyn doesn't have like a bunch of immortals ready or storm anytime soon, I don't care if we're down in workers. Roaches, Ravagers, and Lynx are very good against just pure gateway units. I don't know about this army, because this army doesn't quite feel big enough, but if Fjant is just looking to get a little cancel on the 4th and then he runs home, I think it's perfectly fine. And by the looks of it, that is exactly what a young man from Sverige is looking for. Stalkers blink forward, get a couple links, but it's all good. Drops an infestation pit. I would honestly love to see Fjant just build a crazy amount of Roaches and Ravagers and fight. Roaches and Ravagers are so good in like overwhelming numbers against a Protoss army that doesn't have Immortals or Disruptors or Colossus or Storm. I know some people say Colossus are not good against Roaches. Well, if you have 3 of them and a bunch of Sentries and Stalkers, they become pretty good. If against pure gateway units, without any real AoE support, Roaches and Ravagers honestly kind of slap. Rodzyn has done a good job of splitting up his army here. Fjant just looking for another cancel on the 4th. Does get another cancel, but Stalkers will snipe the 4th base in return, and that's obviously a much better trade for Protoss than it is for Zerg. Kind of feel that Fjant has been a little bit lost in the last 2 minutes. We've got Hive on the way now, but it's obviously a little bit late. We don't have a Lurker Den yet. We could have just gone Roach Hydra too. We've had that Hydra list down for a while. Now the scary stuff is on the production tab. 2 Robos and Storm, and +2 is about to finish up. I'm starting to feel that this game doesn't look all that hot anymore for Fjant. I don't know if it ever looked amazing, but there were definitely ways to make something out of it. To really get some good old Zerg momentum going. And I'm sure that Rodzyn is good with the Blinky boys, but it's so hard to fight like 30, 40 Roaches with 15 Stalkers with Blink. Yeah, once the man gets Storm and a couple of Immortals, I think we kind of know which route we're going. Rodzyn doing a really good job now and having a little bit of activity in the top left and in the bottom right. As these 6 Zealots will get a cancel. That was almost a kill even on this hatchery. First few Hydras have now revealed themselves, but I don't think Rodzyn is very worried about it anymore. Fjant has managed to successfully drone up. It just took a really long time. And now our Hive is not even necessarily very quick. Stalkers are also looking for another cancel on the 4th of Fjant. So we're getting a cancel in the bottom right, we're getting a cancel at the top. These Roaches are not looking for a cancel, they are looking for a kill. But the shield battery is here as well. I don't think Fjant is going to get it. And this is a lot of supply of Roaches. As a little Storm lands on 5 Roaches, that's not too bad. I'm worried for Fjant, guys. Obviously a lot of Zergs have been struggling in this matchup lately. And once you start struggling in a matchup, you lose a little bit of your confidence. And you're not really necessarily making the play. Look at this production tab now. There are 4 hatcheries on the production tab. That's when you know that things haven't really gone according to plan. Fjant absolutely had opportunities in this game. Just did not believe in the power of the Roaches, Ravagers, or even some good old Roach Hydra. Against pure gateway unit, it would have been so good. At least that Lurker barely survives. This hatchery is gonna get cancelled. Rodzyn dropping the Stargates. The man from Poland is kind of flying. Fjant has seismic spines on the Lurkers now, the range upgrade. If he gets the adaptive talents as well, perhaps the Lurkers can make some magic happen. It's just a matter of time before the Immortal count gets mega high again. The Storm count is already decently high. 2 out of the 4 hatcheries that we had on the production tab got cancelled. Now these 4 Lurkers that were trying to keep the Protoss busy, they get jumped on as well. Couple Lurkers burrowing on the high ground. This is really good. These Lurker shots are absolutely amazing. The Observer was a little bit late. Well, okay, these were about as good as Fjant could ever dream of. He is losing 15 drones to a couple of Zealots, so 1 little win in the center and a big economic loss at the top side of the map. I mean, with those lurker shots, you maybe get a bit of hope. But out of those 4 hatcheries that we had on the production tab, now only one of them made it in the end. And that is the base where we just lost 15 drones. A forward blink, the lurker shots are once more absolutely massive. Rodzyn needs to be a tiny bit careful with the stalker blinks, because lurkers are pretty goated against stalkers. And there are some lurkers keeping him busy as well. This man does not fear the lurker, does he? He looks at it and he's like, yeah, I think we can blink on top of that. I think we can blink forward. Gun a couple of these lurkers down, why the hell not? A bunch of zealots of Rodzyn are gonna try to get another cancel on the 5th, while his main army is looking for a kill on the 4th. Doesn't quite get it. Okay, the final few stalker shots do get it, but we even have flanking lurkers, and this was an omega expensive hatchery snipe, and we are not done yet losing units. I think more expensive units will fall. Even a High Templar went down. Oh, Rodzyn. Right-clicking on the hatchery backfired a little bit there. The zealots did the thing on the right side. I don't know if that was a cancel or a kill. I don't know if that really makes up for losing all those stalkers. The carrier transition is on the way, but there are currently 21 Hydras out, only 3 High Templars. Alright, Fjant. You may have just been granted another lifeline in this game to tie things up. There are some storms available, but the first storm gets used on the lurkers. Ooh, the zealot flank is kind of sexy. The zealot flank is really sexy. Gets a full surround on the Hydras, and Rodzyn wipes the floor with that lurker Hydra army. After a couple of amazing storms and a great zealot surround, and now the carriers start showing up as well. Kill that Cybercore, mate. Cannot kill that Cybercore. They are both throwing away armies like it's a squad of Zerglings and zealots in the early game. Rodzyn making a big overextension on the top side of the map for this hatch. Does get it. And then Fjant splitting up his army. Well, maybe it would have been better to just keep his army together. Had an amazing army supply lead there. Had an army that could have ended the game. But by splitting it up, Rodzyn gets a dream fight in the bottom right. And now Fjant is in trouble again. It's also worth mentioning that Fjant's upgrades are just not really it. He's got +1 missile attacks and that's all. We don't have +2, we don't have any carapace. Yeah, Immortals with +3 carriers will soon have +1. Doesn't look like it's gonna go Fjant's way. This time do we have an answer for the Zealots? I mean, Zealots with +3 also don't care that much about 3 spines that are already better than Bruce. Viper of Fjant is almost out, but it's not quite out yet. At least the Queens are doing an amazing job in keeping this hatchery alive. The Zealot Stalkers, Immortals and High Templars are going to try to get on top of the center base. We somehow have one lurker that managed to walk its way into the natural. That's very good. Oh, see, nice little distraction play here. Rodzyn is going to respect this one lurker so much with a recall on his entire army. The Zealots casually walking into the natural, into the main, while more Zealots are going to try to finish the job from earlier. But these Queens ain't done yet saving this hatch. Ooh, the lurker then gets fully surrounded. The lurker then gets picked up by the Zealot run by. Ay, ay, ay. A bit of a clown fiesta of a game here between these two. It looked good for Rodzyn, looked great for Fjant, looked good for Rodzyn. Fjant had another lifeline, and now definitely looks good for Rodzyn again. Our Polish Protoss, who is starting to create a not invincible army, but an invincible army for this phase of the game. As Fjant has so little creep to work with, doesn't have good upgrades. I mean, he's investing in a spy now, but even those corruptors not gonna have any upgrades. Carriers are definitely not as scary in this matchup as they once upon a time were. But if you have this many carriers with storm support against just 20 Hydras with almost no upgrades, then I think the carrier will still shine. Like the year is 2018. And Zergs would tell you, just don't let them get there. Because if they do get there, well, you're in trouble. And we are there. And it is Rodzyn in the end who takes the 2-0 lead. Oh, Fjant. Rodzyn flying and Fjant in trouble. Oh. A game with a lot of different faces. Where it looked very good. Oh my god, this is really gonna play 100 individual alerts, guys. Stream elements. sometimes, guys, instead of playing one big one, they're like, let's just do this 100 times. Yeah, I don't think that that is an option. So we're gonna have to, before you guys go insane of pylon warping sounds, disable that for a little while. Stream elements is like the weirdest bugs. I should really understand the Twitch alerts. And maybe then, guys, we'll never disconnect or drop frames anymore either. Maybe Twitch just wants to make sure that we only use Twitch things. I don't think it's related, but it's a theory that I'm running with. Yeah, it's almost like they've given up a little bit, eh, Bully? I know that they also dropped a certain program that they had for a while. The Dream Team or the Dream Program, whatever it was. Two lead for Rodzyn. Game 3 will be played on Whispers of Gold. And our man from Sweden turn it around as he's representing Team Roddy. And the biggest of shoutouts always to Jacob and Andre, aka Mixed Biscuits. Yeah, exactly, buddy. I think it is time for us to just start getting familiar with those Twitch alerts, mate. I believe you can do a lot of nice things with those. I looked into it into the past, but it was a bit overwhelming for my pleb brain. One of these days I'll sit down and probably just switch over.
Round 3. Fight.
Here we go. Down 0-2. Can we start turning things around? As the ZVP walls will continue for this man hailing from Sweden, representing Team Roddy. It is Fjant. Pop, 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 pop. It's been with us for a very long time, but it's been a pleasure. Obviously very fun to support young Starcraft players on their journey to hopefully greatness one day. Bottom right side of Whispers of Gold, we are looking at the main base of the Polish Protoss. He is one map away from winning 80 buckies. This is a Rodzyn. Hello, Ihatsu. I want to have you once as well, Ihatsu, if you'd be interested. I always see you sign up for every single online tournament. We invited Davili Tos a while ago. And I think that Ihatsu also absolutely deserves an invite. As long as you're over 16. If you're under, we have to wait, but I think it is time. Hatsu to open. A Big Brain Bouts, 84, 85, whatever. I'm in favor. And if I'm in favor, that's really all you need. I'm pretty much in charge. Not only, but most of it. Gateway into Nexus on the side of the man from Poland. Rodzyn is going to take his second gas in the main. This is all very standard stuff. Nothing that really jumps out. Fjant has taken a earlier gas than last game. Is saturating that gas as well. So he should have access to circling speed. It really does seem that Fjant is just kind of looking right now for playstyles that he believes in, for stuff that he can rely on. But often when you start struggling in a matchup, you just kind of, in your mind, nothing works because they always have an answer, and you don't believe in any of the builds because you feel like if your opponent does X, Y, or Z, you're always behind. And these are the struggles of a StarCraft 2 player. Different patch, different map pool. Some of your old stuff doesn't work quite as well anymore. Can't really get the dots connected yet with the new builds. And here we are. Fjant was damn good in CVP for a while. I think he felt very confident in the matchup too. And League Elect hasn't been updated in 4 days. That is shocking. You were so excited about your bonus points from Monday, Magnus? I actually have no idea how a League Elect has been updated all these years. I have never really interacted with somebody that's actually like a part of the League Elect program, but that website has been pretty good. I think the wall is very good actually for Whispers of Gold. I think you can even have a unit here and a unit here and it would still be a wall off, so you'd be safe against banelings too. Kashim. Who is Kashim? I don't think I know Kashim. But if you guys talk to him, let him know that I think he's a goat. So he does Liquipedia and a Legalek. What a man. What a man. Or woman. Whoever it is. What a god. He worked with EWC and IDM. That's it. Not familiar. Maybe if I see him, I'll be like, oh yeah, I do know that guy. But legend. The heroes of the scene that deserve a little more praise. Oracle flies into the main base. How are we feeling, by the way, Magnus? Does it sting a little, or are you okay? I feel for you. You did a lot of things right. And you had game 5 in the back. But then again, you're also dead in game 5. So maybe that makes life a little bit easier. We're just excited for the rematch. Overlord speed this time by Fjant. It's not ultra early, but still somewhat early. Earlier than it has been in the previous games. It happens. You're taking it like a champ. Guess you're excited to grind again. That's the spirit. Well, I love to hear. But it looks to it, guys, Fjant is gonna get very aggressive this time, because he's building a lot of roaches early on, while he technically doesn't need all these roaches with these oracles. So this could only mean one thing and one thing only, and that is that Fjant is gonna create either a German autobahn, or we're hitting us with a German taxi. 2 drop lords on the way. Those drop lords are gonna pick up the ladies, and the ladies are gonna battle. Good revelation by Rodzyn, so he will know immediately what is up. But it's still so hard, I think, to defend a well-executed Zerg attack like this. What time is it there? It is 7:35. Hello, Kansas City Chiefs. Don't ask me who I think is going to win the Super Bowl, because I'm kind of thinking the other guys. 8 drop. By the way, I don't like the execution here by Fjant, guys. And that could obviously have to do with, you know, some of the struggles that he's had in ZVP. But we cannot be hitting a Zergling Roach Ravager Queen attack while also building 8 Overlords at once. That's just 2 things that don't really add up. I understand getting a backup Overlord in case you're going to lose your drop lord. I hope he still gets away with it, but that's obviously not as clean as it should be. One of the queens with a lot of energy gets picked off immediately. Creep 2 more. If the Creep 2 comes online, though, we can start believing. Fjant's army is nowhere near as big as it could be, as it should be. And the cannons are putting a serious number on a couple of the roaches and the Ravagers, but as long as the queens are here and Blink ain't done yet, we can dream. Can Fjant find that critical death? I'm back, I think. I think you guys should be able to see me. Check. I reset some things. I tried. Unfortunately, you guys missed all of that. We can go ahead and take a little look at the replay. I wasn't doing a recording, but that wouldn't even made a difference because my OBS just crashed again. So I have very different issues than yesterday, but I'm obviously mega sad and frustrated, but I'm not gonna dwell on it too much. We've got 2 more best of 5s, and then I don't really know. Let's go ahead and take a little look at basically the moment where we disconnected. I don't quite have the motivation right now to do proper analysis for all of this, but I think you guys can obviously see that a few mistakes were made. Like, for instance, we have a Ravager here in the Dropper Lord that should have been fighting all this time. A lot of the corrosive balls were just kind of in the middle of nowhere rather than killing the batteries when we could have. Rodzyn did a great job in buying time. Obviously, kept the natural save as well with a cannon and a battery. Some good Blink Stalker play, reducing the surface area of the Zerglings. The thing is, Grand Bassist, I haven't had OBS crashes in like years. And suddenly today, it's happening twice. I have a picture of it. I can put it in the Discord, and maybe somebody can help me with this. But there recently was an OBS update, but I can't imagine that this is happening to everybody, because then I think the world would go up in flames if all the streamers would start disconnecting the way that I'm disconnecting. He did not find the critical damage. I mean, I'm glad that you guys are having fun. I'm just very sad. Take a little look at the final moments here of the replay. As we get ready for the next best of 5, that is Goblin versus Fjant, we'll settle that prediction. I did reconnect my profile now to Twitch, so maybe that helps. Let me go ahead and put this picture in the Discord, and maybe some of you guys can give me feedback. Yeah, it's a whole bunch of random issues today that I did not have yesterday because these are different. Yeah, I'll settle the prediction, get ready for the next one. Hope that the stream is still running by the time that I'm back. I'm sad, I'm frustrated, I'm annoyed, but it is what it is. Let me go ahead and settle this, and I'll be back real soon with our third best of 5 of the night. We've got 2 more coming up. I'll see you guys soon. I'm sorry about this. You guys know that it's also not what I'm looking for. You guys believed in Fjant, but it was Rodzyn who got the dub. 3-0 even. First 3-0 of the night. The Nicaragua versus Goblin, best of 5. Nicaragua, RUT. Goblin, ROP. Coming up, guys, 3 minutes.